These are not acts of peaceful protest. These are acts of domestic terror.
President Donald Trump ordered the deployment of thousands of heavily armed soldiers and law enforcement to halt violent protests in the U.S. Capitol on Monday, and vowed to do the same in other cities if their leaders fail to regain control of the streets.
Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
As Trump spoke in the White House Rose Garden, blasts from stun grenades could be heard blocks away.
The brutal death of George Floyd.
As police on horseback dispersed a peaceful protest using tear gas and rubber bullets as well.
I am your president of law and order.
After his brief remarks, Trump walked out of the White House surrounded by dozens of security personnel to St. John's Episcopal Church, which was damaged by fire during protests Sunday night, and stood in front of the boarded-up windows of the church, where he held up a Bible for cameras to see, but took no questions from reporters before walking back to the White House.
Are you prepared to use the military against U.S. citizens?
Earlier on Monday, Trump had berated the country's governors over the phone, calling them weak,
most of you are weak,
and urged them to crack down on the violence and looting that has engulfed America's cities.
you have to dominate. If you don't dominate, you're wasting your time. They're going to run over you. You're going to look like a bunch of jerks. You have to dominate.
Trump also threatened to, quote, activate U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr, and Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who was also on the call, echoed Trump's direction to, quote, dominate.
I agree. We need to dominate the battle space. I think the sooner that you mass and dominate the battle space, the quicker this dissipates, and we can get back to the right normal.
Curfews were in effect in Washington and cities across the country on Monday, but as night fell, protests nationwide continued to spread.